What's up, YouTube?
Hey
Before
guys.
we head to the Playboy Mansion, we're gonna be talking about white supremacists. We're giving away a couple $100, maybe even $1,000. We'll see. We're giving away a MacBook Air. All right, I'm going live now on Twitter. Look this way. So we're gonna have some questions for you. Who wants a brand new MacBook Air? We'll see who gets it. Kate, right here. What's up, Twitter? Before we head to the Playboy Mansion Midsummer Night Party, we're gonna be doing a podcast. We're talking on white supremacists, how to be smarter, will machines run the world. We're gonna give away this MacBook Air to one person who stays to the end. Also, where's the cash, Kate?
Right here.
We got cash, we're in our pajamas. All right, let's go live on Facebook, Kate. Here we go. Here we go. Hold it up. What's up, everybody on Facebook? We are about to head to the Playboy Mansion. That's why I'm wearing. We're wearing pajamas. She's wearing lingerie. But beforehand, we're talking on my podcast, White Supremacists. We're giving away a MacBook Air, cash. Who wants some money and some information for the brain? All right, let's go live on Instagram. Man, that light right there blares into this one. It's kind of weird. Okay, Instagram. Here we go. Look this way.
You might have to stop it.
What's up, Instagram? Before we head to the Playboy Mansion, we're doing a little podcast episode, live streaming. Kate's in lingerie. I'm in my, you have to wear pajamas to this. And she got the MacBook Air. We're giving one person, hold it up, who wants this MacBook Air right here. And I'm going to be giving away to people who listen and can answer questions. We're giving away cash. I'm going to be PayPaling people money. So let's get started on the podcast. You guys are going to be watching behind the scenes. The podcast camera's here.
The podcast recording is going to pause just real quick. That's okay. But
Oh,
just the podcast recording.
Yeah.
what happened? We got a little sound technical.
Yeah.
So, Kate,
A little technical difficulty.
why don't you show them? Stand up for a second. Show them what you're wearing. Zach's over here too in pajamas.
Okay, it's
That's
it's
because I
nothing
just woke up.
special.
Is this still not?
We're good now.
Okay, we're recording. All right, for those of you listening on the podcast, you're missing
It's
out.
a very pretty.
Kate, show the lingerie. You guys are missing out if you're watching the podcast, but you can watch it on my YouTube.
Really nice overcoat. It's very
Yep.
pretty.
And I got this kind of Versace looking. I'm not sure what brand it is, but silk pajamas. Okay, should I do the intro now for the podcast?
You good rolling sound?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
So you can do the intro.
Okay. All right. That was behind the scenes. Now we're officially started. Here we go. Okay, welcome to a special edition of my podcast, the Ty Lopez podcast. We're headed to the Playboy Mansion, but before we go, we're waiting on Rome. It's Midsummer Night Dream Playboy Mansion party. Actually, Hugh Hefner's son, Cooper, tweeted out to me. I've never met him before, and he said, "I want to invite you to the Playboy Mansion." So, there's different Playboy Mansion parties, but there's only one Midsummer Night. That's the actual one that's not a rented out party by promoters. This is the one Hugh Hefner does. So, Kate, stand up for the camera here for YouTube. She's wearing her classy yet sexy lingerie.
Can you see me?
Yeah, right there. Look
Well-
in that one.
Oh. I got
Yeah,
it.
but you can see in that. He got you in that one.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about white supremacists because Charlottesville's crazy right now. We're going to be talking about will machines take over the world. I've been reading this fascinating book called Superintelligence by Nick Bostrom. And it's about the rise of artificial intelligence. Elon Musk, the billionaire, says way bigger threat than North Korea to the United States is artificial intelligence.
But
Some
wouldn't that be more of a long-term threat?
No, he thinks it's a threat. Well, he doesn't
Like
think
next
North.
week?
He doesn't- yeah.
We're threatened by AI next week?
Well, and we're talking about how to be smarter. That's important. So let's start with a giveaway real quick. For those of you listening on the podcast, if you can ever catch one of these live, we do all little giveaways. So I'm gonna do this. $100 to the first person who answers this question. Kate, show them the money. Gonna PayPal to one person who answers this question. Let me see. I gotta look up the answer because I'm not even sure myself.
Which Star Trek film in the series, Star Trek series,
What?
is The Wrath of Khan?
No, I want to do related to the subject.
Yeah.
Okay, I know which one it is. What? Speaking of the rise of the machines, What year did the first Terminator movie come out? What year did the first Terminator come out? Which is about, there you go, right there. Play21 on Twitter got it, 1984.
Play 21.
Is that right, Zach?
Yes.
84, the first Terminator.
I hope Adrian took note that you asked me if that was right.
Oh, why? Would Adrian know that? Okay, let's start off by talking about current events. Then we're going to talk about this book, Superintelligence, Paths, Dangers, and Strategies. Then lastly, we're going to talk about how to be smarter. I'm discussing this book here. It's a Wharton book, Wharton Business School. It's by Robert Gunther, and it's about making decisions. So basically, when we say somebody's smart, the way you know somebody's smart, in my opinion, is not whether they can just do 5 plus 5 and is 10 quickly, a math problem. It's the decisions they make. That's practical intelligence. That's what I want to talk about. So how can you be practically intelligent? Not everybody's going to be Einstein or Stephen Hawking. Okay, Zach. So Zach is more of a Trump supporter.
Yes.
I'm kind of in the middle of I don't love Trump. I don't love Hillary.
I think it's great. We finally got a president that's willing to stand up for the country instead of apologize for it.
Okay, but we're going to talk about this Charlottesville stuff. Kate is anti-Trump, right? She don't like Trump.
No.
You need the move the microphone a little closer to you.
You guys can hear me.
So here's my question to you. Ethically, did Donald Trump make the right decision today when he said that there's been a lot of violence on both sides? He did not specifically single out, if you haven't been watching the news, Charlottesville has been under quite a bit of protest recently because they were going to take down the Robert E. Lee statue, the Confederate general. And a group of alt-right people said, we don't think we should take down American history because it's part of American history. So let's first talk about that. Let's go to the live viewers. Thumbs up if you think it's a good idea to take down the Robert E. Lee statue, which to some represents fighting for the South, which they for sure were fighting for slavery, among other things, states' rights, slavery. Thumbs up and thumbs down, just use the emoji if you think that it's a bad idea to take down the statue. Let's see. We got thumbs down. So we have Oman someone finally on Facebook thinks it's a bad idea to take down. Kim McDaniel says, take it down. Kevin Stalling says it was totally a wrong decision for Donald Trump to make that statement. So let's start with a Trump supporter. One of the things in superintelligence in this book and in making better decisions is to remember what Charlie Munger says. He said you should never be able to take one side without being able to argue the other side. So go back to high school debate class. You always got to be able to debate both sides of the story to be an open-minded person. So Zach is more on the side of Donald Trump. Do you agree that Donald Trump, what he said was fine? Or should he have taken a more firm stance?
I'm indifferent with him tweeting. I'm not too concerned with what he tweets. I know a lot of people get upset about it, they focus on it, but I'm a little more concerned with
Policy.
Yeah, with that's what I think is important.
Kate, do you think they should take down the Robert E. Lee statue, which represents the South and the Confederate Army?
No, I don't think so. I think it's
Just part of America?
part of our history. It's already put up, so why are they going to try to take it down?
I do
It's
think
already
it would
there.
be good to ask a lot of the people that want to tear it down what they know about the history, what they know about Robert E. Lee. If they can't talk about Robert E. Lee,
Right.
then
I don't think it's Robert E. Lee. I think they're talking about slavery. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they're lumping all Confederate
right.
military generals and people, although really, half of everybody fought in the Confederate War that was in America. But let's just keep going on that because I don't want to talk too much on politics. But what I want to talk about, because I think this is important, about being smarter, how it relates to what Donald Trump's doing or not doing. In the Wharton book, Making Decisions, let me read you something that's fascinating, okay? There's multiple ways the human brain, you're going to decide. And if you think about everything, every good or bad thing in your life is going to have hinged on some decision. Who you marry, what political party you vote for in this case, whether Robert E. Lee should be taken down, the decision you make on what you believe on that, what career you choose, how you invest your money in the stock market, that's all a decision. The opening chapter of this book is a Danish proverb. He who has choice has trouble. Remember, write that down if you're taking notes. He who has choice has trouble. What does that mean? Well, you know what's the song, More Women, More Problems? You know?
Got 99 problems?
No Woman, No Cry. That was the reggae song, Bob Marley. But no, if we had less choice, we would have less sorrow because you'd have less regret. But you'd also have less happiness. So in a world of unlimited choice that we have, like tonight we could decide to go to the Playboy Mansion. We could drive there, get hit by a car, we're all dead. Or we could go there and make the best business connection of our life, and it ends up being one of the most important days. So since you can't tell things ahead of time, if you want to be smarter, here's one of the things that it says. And this is really interesting. It says okay, here it is. It's on page 27. Consequences of emotional trade-off difficulty. Working harder but not necessarily smarter. They said, when they've studied humans, how we decide things, the more important the decision, usually the less intelligent we become. We become more emotional. We think about it longer. We use more emotion versus objectivity. So it says here on the end of the chapter, in summary, it appears that subjects work harder, yet not smarter, in more emotion-laden conditions. So think about this politics thing. I don't care what side of the story you're on with the white supremacists, the alt-right, the Confederate issue now in Charlottesville, Virginia. If you were to go there today, it would be very hard to be able to get people to have a non-emotional conversation. Everybody's emotional. You got the alt-right. I saw an interview with David Duke. You know, if you got him riled up, he's going to be emotional. If you got the people who want to tear down the statue, they'd be emotional. It's very rare to hear good opinions, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So just remember, next time you're put into a situation where you have to decide something that's naturally fueled with a lot of emotion, what this book, this Wharton professor, the book, one more time, is Wharton on Making Decisions by Stephen Hoke, Howard Kunreither, and Robert Gunther. That's an interesting name. Kunreither.
That makes sense. So the other night I had a problem with my wife whenever there was a lot of dirty dishes in the sink and I was telling her it needed to be done. She reacted emotionally, didn't like that I was telling her to do it, but I said, let's think about this logically. If you don't do them, they will attract ants. We won't be able to eat off of them because they're so dirty. So let's think
Just
about
to be clear,
this.
Zach doesn't actually have a wife, but was this a blow-up doll, Zach? That made him drop his pipe.
No comment. Mrs. Cookman.
Someone said Zach's married. So, okay, let's keep going through here. Let's do a giveaway. What year did the Civil War end? Ready, set, go. Because we're talking about white supremacists, the Confederate, Robert Lee. There we go. Miguel Baca on YouTube. Got it. 1865, Miguel. The war went 1861 to 1865. We're PayPaling you how much, Kate?
100.
Not $100,000, $100. 100 even. PayPal. My staff will get with you. By the way, if you get contacted by somebody that says they're my assistant and they ask you to send them money, it's not me. I can't tell you how many people tell me that they get contacted by somebody saying, "Oh, I'm ties." Yeah. Like Michael from The Office says, when the Prince of Nigeria contacts you directly asking for help, you help him. Okay. Where are we at
I'm going to start sending those emails out. Ty needs your help.
Ty needs
to
your
get you
help.
the $100 that you won. We need you to send
this
the $100.
thing is so bright. Okay. Number 2 subject. So we talked about this a little bit. We just skimmed the surface on this white supremacist thing. The main takeaway, if you want to be hyper intelligent, is lower the emotion that goes into complicated decisions. Instead, and this is an important one, so if you're writing this down, point number one, we're talking about emotion-laden decisions, how most people just try to like basically work themselves into a tizzy versus thinking objectively. Number two, and this is even more important point, if you want to be more intelligent, and we're going to talk about the rise of machines, potential machines like in the Terminator, there is on page I think it's on page 22. So, oh no, here it is. Page 24. 25, 26, it's a few pages. One of the best ways to make a decision is not to try to figure out which way will turn out the best, but it's called regret minimalization. It's interesting, this book talks about it, and that's actually how Jeff Bezos decided to start Amazon, by computing the decision whether quitting his job was smart because of the amount of regret he would have. So let's say anybody here asked me, Ty, should I marry Susie? Should I quit my job and start this business? All that kind of stuff, okay? And you don't know what to do. It's a tough decision. Maybe you want to move. Maybe you've always wanted to move to California and now you live in, Nebraska, and you're like, I've always wanted to move to California. If you want to be super intelligent, like we're talking about, this book, Super Intelligent, this book, Making Decisions, better than trying to go, well, if I stay in Nebraska, I have this job, and you make a pro and cons list. Well, that's okay, pros and cons. Okay, if I go to California, maybe I become this, and I meet this person. But no, both of those outcomes are not guaranteed. You could move to California, get run over by a car. You could stay in Nebraska and get run over by a car, right? You'll never be able to tell ahead of time what the right decision is. But you can ask yourself this: which one will cause most likely the most or the least amount of regrets? Moving to California and staying in Nebraska. And that's called regret minimalization. So write that down. If you want to be super intelligent, if you want to make good decisions, this is really, by the way, what AI, artificial intelligence, is about. Those machines make decisions. There was this computer that beat Kasparov, the chess master, the grandmaster. That it just made decisions smarter than he did. So your life is like a chess game. You're either making smart decisions, and you got to know how to do them. And the second you go, just ask myself, will I regret this likely? Will I likely regret this or not? So let's say on little decisions, someone says, yo, Zach, let's go salsa dancing. And let's say Zach's never been salsa dancing. You got to ask yourself, will you one day look back when you're 80 years old and be like, now I'm old, I can't move around. I wish when I was young I had gone out and maybe gone more salsa dancing or had more fun. And the odds are you will. You will regret that. It's funny. Girls that are pretty are always like, these guys always DM me in my inbox. So I go out and people yell things at me. And I'm not condoning that guys do that. But you got to realize that one day, if you talk to a woman who's 70 years old, I've heard older women say this. Man, when I was young, guys used to be after me. They'd be, calling me, following me home,
They pinch my tush.
Yeah, thank you, Zach, for the southern. But the point being is, be careful of shying away from things that one day you might regret shying away from. What are the things that mostly people regret when they die? What have you heard, Zach? People die, they say, I wish I would have
Traveled more.
Okay.
Survey
Kate.
says, ding.
Ding. Kate.
When after that certain someone, they're always too scared to talk to.
There you go. Going after somebody like, in your classroom, at your work, but, next door neighbor, you think they're cute, but
I
you're...
should have pinched her tush.
No, don't pinch their tush like Zach says.
No, I'm kidding.
I should have.
Zach thinks he's Hugh Hefner because he's in a robe right now. So what else? What some other brainstorms? Taking more chances, Fidencio says.
I should have gone skydiving.
Skydiving. See, I don't regret that. Someone said following your dream, but be specific. What kind of risks? People say risk. What else? Smashing, somebody said. Okay. Dating more women. Well, changing that to dating more women, not smashing.
Learned more.
Drugs. You mean you'll wish you had done more drugs or less? Somebody just put drugs. That reminds me of The Office.
Open-ended.
The UK version of The Office, if you've ever seen it with Ricky Gervais, is so funny. They're doing employee reviews of this guy named Keith who doesn't talk. He talks kind of weird, and he goes, strengths and weaknesses. He put weaknesses, eczema. He's like, we were talking about business weaknesses.
And his strengths was his job.
Yeah, strengths was accounts.
Exactly what he does.
No, he
Yeah.
said accounts. So, okay. Drugs is not a good answer. Starting a media company. What is the thing that you potentially will regret next year not doing this year? Let's talk about it that way. Trying to read more books. Making more money. What about, somebody forgot. I tell you the one that people forget.
Working out.
Okay, working out.
Eating
Hell
healthy.
yeah. You will regret one day not working out because the older you get, the fatter you get for the most part. So if you wait too long, the body, your metabolism is all messed up. How about this one? Spending more time with people you enjoy being around. I think if you had to summarize, the number one regret of humans, the older you get. So if you can avoid this regret, to me, you're super intelligent, because that's the subject of today's podcast. People. Everything in life for the most part is a people thing. Travel is important. I agree. Travel is a big one. But if I had a choice between traveling and having to be around crappy people all the time, whether it's dating, family, work, friends, or just staying in, Los Angeles the rest of my life, but being around people I like to be around. Just ask yourself, on a 1 to 10, the people you work with, the people you date, the people you associate with in your family, because most of us have big families. Most people here have more than one person in their family. So you have to make a choice. You can't hang out with everybody. How many of those relationships are with people you consider a 8, 9, or a 10? And if your boss is annoying, if your coworkers are annoying, you're going to spend 8 hours a day at your work. So true super intelligence comes from making good decisions. Good decisions come from part 1, reducing emotion around stressful times, stressful subjects. And number 2, thinking about regret minimalization. And Jeff Bezos wasn't sure he was going to quit his job. He was making over 100, I don't know how much he was making, but he was making good money. In the 1990s, he was making Wall Street high pay. And so he had in his mind, he said he had a big risk. What if he quits his job and he can't get it back? And he borrowed money from his parents and his friends. I think he borrowed $300,000 to start Amazon. And, was that going to be a big risk or not? And I think he made the right choice, because right now he almost passed Bill Gates. Is he the richest man in the world right now? Kate, Google. Let Kate.
He
Right,
was
I'll have my phone.
Oh, where's
for
your
a
phone?
matter of minutes.
For minutes, but he's number 2, and he's a lot younger. What's he at right now? Jeff Bezos. So imagine if Jeff Bezos had not made the decision to quit his job, start Amazon. Somebody else would have done it. I guarantee you somebody else would have made that money. What's he at?
It's Bill right now.
By how much? What are they at?
Bill's showing as 86, then Warren at 75.6, and then Bezos they've got at 72.8.
Yeah. Well, he's still very rich. He has $72 billion. 72,000 million.
Wow.
Okay. Someone said, Kate, are you going to die of boredom?
No.
Kate's just shy. She listens, but
I
she's...
talk a lot. I don't care.
Kate is shy. It's funny. Kate thinks she's an extrovert, but she's
No,
such
I
an introvert.
am. It just takes me a while.
Kate.
Open up.
That's
That's
sign
the
of an
definition of an introvert.
I stand against the wall until
Yeah.
I get comfortable. Then I move to the
Kate
center
goes,
of the room.
I'm not an introvert. I'm just introverted.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's science, Kate. You can't argue against science.
Tyler Ostronsky says he knows you.
He thinks he does. He actually
Daniel
doesn't.
Ollie said, Jesus Christ wants you. What does that mean? It's a bizarre.
I think it's a playoff of the U.S. Army wants you.
No, he's just.
Oh. He wants me to become what? A Christian? Okay. Third conversation here. Zach, do you believe, because I got a statistic for you right out of this book that's going
he
to blow
does
your
know
mind.
me. He said Bakersfield girl. Hey.
Who thinks this book statistic is correct? I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to first give you a chance to guess. What are the odds machines will become smarter than humans? Because right now they're only smart on very, what they call domain-specific subjects. Okay, like chess. But there's no computer that exists that can just go through a full day and make good decisions.
Like that one robot who
Which one?
was very trained as a security robot, but it ended up in
Oh,
the
yeah.
water.
Yeah, it was in the news. One of these, it was a mall security cop robot.
It was
and
like very high tech.
it was super high tech. It was like multi-million-dollar, and it wasn't paying attention, or somehow it got malfunctioned and went right into the water fountain. It died.
Oh,
they
they-
found it
didn't make it
electrocuted.
water-
It dried or killed itself.
He committed
It's like, all
fraud.
I am is a mall cop. I'm a machine, and that's what they have me doing?
He goes, why?
No, I think it will happen.
What
for
year
sure.
though? What year would you say?
20.
90. What year do you think there's 90% sure that computers will be as intelligent or more intelligent than humans? That's called the point of singularity.
I'm going to say 2025.
2050.
And if I could take this moment,
Wait, 20?
I would like to welcome our robot overlords.
Zach is trying
I,
to
for
make
one, would
peace
like to
with
welcome
them.
our robot overlords.
Zach is trying to make peace with them ahead of time to
In
get
case they
it.
look at this and
I'm going to
listen.
say 2050.
Zach's a brown noser.
Yeah.
Zach's a robot kiss up.
Mr.
Okay,
Robot?
2025, Zach said. Kate said 2050. All right, I'm gonna read you what this book says here. Actually, I'm gonna let somebody guess. First person to guess the correct era or approximate year is gonna get $100. Hold up the money, Kate. When is there 90% sure that computers will be as intelligent as humans? Somebody said the year 3000. That's a little bit far. Somebody said the year
Oh, look
250.
at right there.
That's already passed. No, none of 2020 is too early. 2020 is in 4 years.
No,
I mean 2 years. 2 years? No, it's not going to be. Somebody said 21st century. That's a little bit broad.
In the future.
90% sure. Somebody said 1998.
Actually, it's already
There we
happened.
go.
We're living in a simulation.
Eric V on YouTube got it. This book, Super Intelligence, says that they're 90% sure that in the year 2100, okay, so in approximately 82 years, they're 90% sure that something called HLMI, which is Human Level Machine Intelligence. So there's a 10% chance by 2030. Now, there's different types of computer learning. They call it PT-AI, AGI, EETN, and Top 100. So these are different levels of human intelligence. So the earliest for the most basic type of machine intelligence with 90% is 2065. They think that AGI, a type of artificial intelligence, will be 90%. So we pretty much got 40. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm assuming Elon Musk has some other statistics. This book, by the way, Super Intelligent by Nick Bostrom, is a Bill Gates favorite. And let me see what year it was written, because according to Elon Musk, he thinks it's the biggest problem right now.
Well, that's one of the books.
This is
Elon
written in
had his
2014.
Top 8 list.
Elon has this?
His top 8 influential books. That's one of them.
Huh. Somebody said Elon Musk will create Skynet.
I think Elon Musk actually is a robot.
Do you think he is? By the way, is Rome here?
No, I told him to let us know.
Okay. We got to go to the Playboy Mansion soon, but we'll keep talking here. Zach, question. Let's take some open questions for our live viewers. What about climate change? Derek HRR on Instagram asks, do you think climate change should be taken seriously? You're a Trump supporter. The current White House is somewhat skeptical of a lot of the claims of people like Al Gore and human contribution to climate change. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm actually right now on the side that it's vanity to think that we can destroy the planet, but I'm not absolute on it because I'm actually reading about it now. Josh and I talk a lot about this. Josh is very much on the side that
You mean
in 20,
Josh?
30 years,
Yeah.
that the planet won't be habitable. I think you've got smart people on both sides. So how do you know for sure? I do. You've got people that have been proven to doctor data
Yep.
to fit the narrative. Always follow the money. You can do the same thing. I agree with Rush Limbaugh's displaced communists. It's their new
Okay.
home. It's
Kate.
anti-Western culture,
Well, climate change?
I won't go
Yes.
I think, well, in my last semester geography class, I got
Alright.
an S2 too. I've seen a lot of statistics, and if you see the poor little polar bears falling off their glaciers, it's a little obvious that we're
Actually,
Zach is about to pull up
no.
something Zach got so excited when she brought up polar bears. Why was that, Zach? I haven't seen
and the
you that
CO2
giddy.
levels,
Just because they're so
it's-
cute. Hold on a second. It was something I actually read yesterday. I gotta find this. Hang on.
It's about climate change?
Yeah.
Well, here, this is back to decision making. So nobody knows the outcome. There's smart people on both sides of the climate change conversation. But remember what I said, to be super intelligent, you have to reduce emotion on hard conversations like climate change. Number two, you have to do what's called regret minimalization. So regret minimalization in this case, if we get cleaner energy, what's the downside that we'll regret? Potentially. Versus, let's forget about it and keep burning coal, what's the downside? So one of the 67 steps, for those of you not in my 67 steps program, over 100, and I think now almost 150,000 people in 100 countries have gone through it. And it's what I learned from my mentors about how to think. And one of the 67 steps that I learned was asking what's the downside. So to me, even though I think there's potential that humans are not contributing to climate change, even though a lot of scientists think we are, still, you might as well do solar power, you might as well do wind technology, because there's no downside except some temporary hiccups in the market. It's going to hurt Ford temporarily, but it's going to help Elon Musk's Tesla. So all that thing where I don't agree where people say if we go to clean technology, it's going to hurt the economy. It'll hurt some companies and it'll help some. It's going to balance itself out for the most part. And you already see that. Now wind, which if you go to some parts of the world is so damn windy. If you go to Denmark, there's a bridge between Denmark and Sweden, Malmo, Sweden, and you drive over that thing, and right out there in the middle of the water, they got these big wind propellers. You know, these wind turbines harvesting energy. I'm like, that seems like the most no-brainer thing in the world to do because it's no downside. People say they're ugly, and I'm like, yeah, it's not really ugly. Get used to it. Billboards of freaking McDonald's is ugly too, and nobody cares. So I think that it's one of those situations. Go full out. How about desalinating water? If you could desalinate water, you will basically solve like 20% of the world's problems, because food, a lot of parts of the world like that have a lot of people, including India and China, it's very dry there. They have these huge farm areas. It gets so dry that food, you can't grow plants. So if you had water, and the ocean has so much damn water, there's no chance in the world that you're going to use up all the water in the ocean. So, I'm a big fan of doing these alternate because
I
of
am too.
minimalization.
But it's the these policies involved. As far as the private sector, I'm all for people pursuing these alternative energy sources or sustainable energy. But when you start punishing businesses because they're not following under certain regulations that are guided by
Right.
the understanding of climate change or based from that, that's whenever I think it gets a little bit, the government coming in and basically forcing certain businesses to fall
Right.
under certain regulations. That's what I
Yeah,
have a problem with.
regulations
But if-
usually don't work too well.
in the private sector, I don't think there's anything wrong with having someone that should be an incentive
Yeah.
to learn to desalinate water. Imagine how rich you'd be
Yes.
if you figured
One,
that.
one of the things stupid with the government does too many negative regulations versus positive ones. So imagine this. The government right now issues, forget a lottery. You win $1 billion cash prize, not paid out over 20 years. The day you're declared the winner, they wire you $1,000 million. $1 billion's nothing to the U.S. government. If you find a way of desalinating water, taking the salt out of seawater more efficiently than whatever's the current method. Then once you declare one person the winner, it could be a company, it could be a 16-year-old kid, it could be a corporation, anybody who comes up with it. Then you issue the challenge again the next year. So you have a 2018 challenge, then you do a 2017, then you do a 2018, and so on. Why not do that? That's what I was saying in a talk that I did earlier on. If you really want to use big brother government, which we live in, Zach and me tend to be more anti-regulations, but I'm a realist also and realize that there's going to be regulations because at least half of the United States and half of the world is more liberal and wants more regulations. So what I think you do is you do a different form of regulations. So instead of just saying this, and this has been proven over and over, that positive incentives usually work more than negative ones. So if you just say, listen, $1 billion to the person who invents a better solar panel. Man, you'll have 16-year-old kids instead of playing video games for $1 billion freaking dollars. Kids, you know how parents say their kids are lazy? Nobody will be lazy for $1 billion. And also make smaller micro goals of $1 million. And instead of just the Kardashians being rich and famous, which I have no problem with them being rich and famous, but instead of just social media stars being famous, why not have random nerdy high school kids around America, 6 of them a year, 12 of them a year, winning $1 million damn dollars? $1 million to the U.S. government, an $18 trillion economy. We won't even notice it. We spend $1 million on stupid pork barrel, dumb, retarded stuff. All they spend on just the military, like they'll overpay a contractor for a hammer, like $2,000 for a hammer that costs $100. So positive incentives. Once again, going back to super intelligence, one of the problems with the government is it's because, and why I'm a little more like Zach on the government regulation, is that anytime you have a massive group of people making decisions, okay, who are not properly incentivized and who are what's called a pool of adversely selected people. Because a lot of intelligent people don't want to go work for the government. So who goes and works? One of the problems with being politicians is most people you really want to be a politician, they don't want to be one. Do you? And a lot of people who want to be politicians are automatically disqualified for the simple fact that, why are you so excited about being a politician? That's why I like, what the Amish do in churches? It's so smart. You cannot try to become a pastor in their church. They just literally draw straws. And that's how they determine. I wish that the president was straws drawn. I wish Americans could vote on a pool of 20 people that would be good candidates and then do the damn thing with a flip of coin. I'm telling you, you would get just as good, if not better, and you would reduce the narcissism. You would reduce people that have self-serving biases. And look, if I came to your house and you go, we need a super humble person to lead our local Christian church. And I go, me. I'm the most humble. I'll be the best. Then I'm automatically disqualified.
I don't know if that would work for the presidency, though.
Why not? A pool of 50
Hey, whether
people.
you like it or not, your straw was drawn. You are now the president of the United States. Deal with it.
No, that's not what I said. You know, the first part, it's a pool of people willing to do it. Okay? But there's no, they
That's
don't,
called the primaries.
but they don't campaign like that. They don't go me. They don't go me. They're qualified by their past actions. And I think that's important because, listen, this is why I hate presidential elections. I don't watch them. All people have done for the last 100 years is promise what they're going to do, and they promise stuff they can't possibly do. So what's the point of the primary? The point of the primary is to see their intelligence, but most of it's dumb. I mean, they judged George W.H. Bush was judged by the fact that he looked at his watch during a debate. That basically almost lost him the election. Why does that matter to me? So I think that there's too much emotion. We're going back to the topic in these two books of superintelligence. There's too much emotion, which means look, I have to ask you, do you think, the last 4 presidents are necessarily the absolute best that America has to offer? I would say no. I would say there's people wiser, there's people more humble, there's people with less selfish intentions. There's some amazing people in the world, and there's been some good presidents, don't get me wrong, but there's been some crappy presidents. And so anyway, whether that's never going to happen, would not follow the U.S. Constitution. But what the government can do is start spending money on positive incentives and literally change the freaking world. And even rich people could do this. I mean, Warren Buffett's rich enough, he could give $1 billion to the person who comes out this year with the best solar panel. $1 billion, it will be insane. You'll probably have some negative stuff happen, like people will be stealing each other's technology. High school nerds will be like showing up their kid's house, pushing them down the stairs and taking his current prototype of the solar.
Organized crime members pulling up and whacking the kid in the knees. That's bringing the science project into school.
Yeah, you got a little kid.
I'll take that desalinator, thank you.
Guido, Tony Soprano shows up with a desalinator. I invented this. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about desalination?
You've been hanging out in a pork shop for the last 20 years, and you came up with a desalinator.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, let's do a giveaway right now. We are going to pick a subject.
Oh, just real quick, back to the polar bears. It's actually the global temperatures are cooler today than they were 10 years ago when Al Gore won the Nobel Peace Prize. So I think the polar bears are all right. It's still chilly
It's still chilly.
for them, yes.
It's still.
No, I don't think it's the cold. I think it's whether the ice is melting. This is a different issue. So,
Well, it'd be melting less if it's colder.
It's still melting there.
let me
it's
ask.
just less.
Hold on, I got a
But
text.
the planet goes through cycles.
Yeah, it does.
It's rotating.
What?
There's seasons.
Yeah, we just
It goes
haven't
through
been here
cycles.
long enough. We don't know the whole span. Well, we probably do actually. I don't know.
Like I said, we need a world of people. I hope everybody here becomes smarter with decisions, because I've made some stupid ones and I've made some good ones. And the only thing that works in life is the non-stupid ones. The stupid ones bite you in the butt, man. Somebody said, Ty, who are you texting? Rome. I was trying to see. I need to go. We're waiting on him to go to the Playboy Mansion. Someone said, Willie Diaz says, my heart is melting for Kate. Raymond Ray said, what's the story on the solar panel offer? It's actually hypothetical. So don't be coming to me. He invented it. I'm ready for my $1 billion.
More about this.
No, he shows up at our house. I've got the podcast. You said you will give me $1 billion. Steven Gonzalez says there's been several ice ages. That is true. I'm trying to go to college for. Consciousness is fundamental to universe like charge and spin. What's Kate's zodiac sign? Uh-oh. Don't say.
Why?
All right, we're going to do a $100 giveaway since somebody asked that question. First person to guess zodiac sign, Kate's zodiac sign. Hold that up.
We gotta give him a hint though, because it's
No. It'll come fast. We got Leo. Oh, here we go.
No. It's the specific one. It's not just that.
Yes. No.
Remember, it's the.
No, I'm not doing the moon sign and
No,
all
not
that.
that. It's the cusp.
Is it still there?
I'm on a cusp.
She's on. Okay.
I'm on a cusp.
All right, I'm going to
so-
make it harder.
Yeah.
She's what sign on the cusp of what other sign?
Yeah.
We'll make this harder.
That makes it different.
Someone said she's a moon sign. That's not how it worked.
No.
Okay, I see some of you saying it, but what is she on? Say 2 words, 2 signs.
It's like, yeah. It's
Whoever gets the
together.
combination. Someone said Pisces, Leo, no. Somebody said Virgo, Leo, no. Cancer, Leo, no. Scorpio, no. If you believe in astrology, some do, some don't. You have a sun sign, which is your main one. That's your pride. And you have a moon sign, that's your emotional side.
Yeah, but this is just 2 sun signs since my birthday's right in the middle.
No. Well, yes, okay, we'll come. No one's gotten it. Now, how many variations are there for all you math people? There's 12 and 12. So what is the total guesses?
44?
Zach's trying to carry the one.
Gary.
Pisces and Leo. No, it's on the cusp. So you can't be at the cusp of Pisces and Leo. I think people are just saying the only astrology signs they know.
They're saying theirs.
And you guys, you have to.
Leo, Cancer, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries, closer.
Or maybe they just don't want the $100.
All right, if nobody gets it in the next 30 seconds, we're stopped.
Oh, wait.
Where?
Go down.
Oh, here, we got it.
Wait.
Garnia BMX.
Yep.
Pisces on the cusp of Aquarius.
That's me.
Ganarnia.
You got $100.
So
$100
which side are you on?
Pisces, but February 22nd, so it's
On the cusp.
right on the cusp. I got some Aquarius.
All right, I'm gonna call Rome. Let's call him.
Oh, it's
on
9:30. We gotta go.
Yeah, put him on
Let's
speakerphone.
let's call Rome on the speakerphone. Let's go.
Hey, who's got? I got $10. He's gonna say what's up, player.
What's up?
You ready to go?
Yeah, you're on my podcast.
Well, let me come in. I'm out in the sun. I'll come in.
Oh, you're here? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay, what you talking about on the podcast, first of all? Let me
No, but we gotta go. We're waiting. We're
Yeah.
gonna wrap up the podcast if you're here.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm out in the front.
Okay, we'll come.
All right, bye.
Rome really wanted to be on it.
I know he did. He was
Oh,
like, wait.
if Rome was on this one, he would be murdering Zach right now.
I know.
A Trump white supremacist
I'm not
conversation.
a white, but I'm not. I don't support, condone, repeat.
But you
like.
are very white.
I can't help that. Just like Rome can't help.
You can spray tan like Kate does.
Yep.
No, I did that once before.
You spray tan.
Yeah, my wife divorced me.
That's why Zach. Did you really spray tan ever? Oh, please. There's 2 things I'd like to see. One,
It
In the
looks
Speedo.
good.
I'll spray tan in a Speedo.
Oh.
I look
God.
really white in that one, but
that's disgusting. If you saw my Snapchat the other day, Zach did a Speedo. We were doing a photo
one
shoot for
piece.
one of my bikinis, and he wore one of those Baywatch thongs. He looked like Borat. It was disgusting. I had to look away. To this day, there's this picture on my phone, and I can't look at the whole thing.
Is that whenever?
Oh, by the way,
On
quick
iPhone, you
quick
can
movie
decide.
recommendation. I got 2 movies to recommend to you if you want a solid damn movie. The best movie I've seen in the last 2 months,
my hair.
maybe this year, is Wind River. Did you see it, Adrian?
I saw it twice.
Tell me that one good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Great
see it
movie.
tomorrow.
You haven't seen it?
No.
I want to go with
I'm-
you.
I'm gonna
wait
tomorrow.
wait for me.
Oh, okay.
You've already
Wind
seen
River.
it.
Let me tell you. So I would never.
I thought we were gonna see
I-
Annabelle.
Oh yeah, Annabelle's supposed to.
Oh
be.
yeah, we're gonna see that with Herman.
Let's see
I
Annabelle.
rarely go see a movie twice or
leaving.
even consider. Wind River. It's a story. It's got
Oh no, don't say anything.
from the guy from Hurt Locker. From Hurt Locker. Jeremy Renner. What's wrong with saying who's in it?
Oh, thought you were going to say something about what.
Zach has this weird phobia. If you mention anything, he runs out of trailers. When you're in a movie to
If
get
it's a
there
movie I
early,
wanna see, though.
he runs out of the theater like an idiot.
My eyes!
No, but you need to see Wind River. The second movie is Detroit. Go see Detroit. I feel like Donald Trump. I feel like I'm repeating myself. I've noticed that Donald Trump says everything 2 times. Is that my imagination?
No, he didn't.
When he's making a point.
Fire and
A point.
fury.
Yeah, when he said, we will rain down fire and fury, he then pauses. I wonder if he does that on purpose or if he's collecting his thoughts. But I don't think I want to do that. I don't.
Go.
Wait, don't shake. It's picking up the sound, Kate.
Sorry.
What'd you say,
And
Zach?
I think don't highly intelligent people have certain speech patterns like that where they start to say something, but their brain's going so fast
Right.
so they won't finish the sentence and we'll move on to the next.
Yes, I have found that.
Oh,
but
that makes
I
sense.
know I do that a lot.
I thought it was scatterbrained, but I
someone
didn't.
said Ty is more sexy than Kate. That's something I don't hear too often. I'll take it, but it was from a guy. So that's not good.
How do you know it's a guy?
Someone said, is Kate super smart? Oh, the movie Detroit is intense. Kate was traumatized. Zach was traumatized.
I'm pretty smart, guys. I'm about to get my bachelor's. That's pretty good.
Kate always brings up her degree. If we're talking about
Hey, if I was
intelligence.
dumb, how could I almost have a bachelor? Not yet, but almost. I have a few courses left.
If I was smart, how could I have this book in front of me? Oh wait, I could have just
Yeah,
bought
get
it.
that one.
I can't buy a degree.
How old is that one?
I don't know, but this book's seen better days. So, by the way, if you want to get these books, Nick Bostrom's book, Super Intelligence, Path to Dangerous Strategies, New York Times bestseller. Bill Gates recommends it. The second book is a more obsolete, old book, but it's a good one. Wharton on Making Decisions. Okay? So, we got to give away this laptop, and then we out. Someone said, Ty, you're a nerd, but you're rich, so it's cool.
He is a nerd.
Someone said, Ty is rude to you, Kate. He's trying to win you over. Guys,
Yeah.
you know what that's called? You know what a scientist
I'm
call?
actually mean to him. Don't let him fool you.
You know what scientists call that? It's called derogation of character. It's a very common technique. When an older woman sees a younger, pretty girl, they automatically go, ugh, look at that slutty girl. That's called, they say that to their husband. It's called, literally, evolutionary psychologists call that derogation of character, where the wife is trying to degrade the person so that her husband won't look at another woman. And men do it with, if a girl that they're in the friend zone with likes some guy, but secretly they're in the friend zone so they want to get her, they'll be like, oh, that guy's a douche. Oh, that guy does people. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So,
I heard him fart.
is that what you do, Zach?
It works.
That's how Zach gets out of the friend zone. Who here is in the friend zone and wants to be out of the friend zone? I want you to contact Zach and ask for all his techniques.
No, I'll be honest. I am always in the friend zone, the friend with benefits zone. Hey now.
We need a drum kit on
Or
this
just a little
podcast.
button.
Yeah, we need more sound.
Yeah, let's get wacky.
No, wait, let's
Let's get
we
wacky.
need we need the E-Bombs world. Remember?
Soundboards.
E-Bombs world. This is
I
funny,
like that
man.
Rome was like, okay, I won't come in.
Yeah.
We're coming out.
What we need is this one right here. We got let's see. Oh man, it said sorry, this content is not. Oh, Tony Soprano. What? It says sorry, this isn't available on mobile. Alright. Well, next time you come, we will have sounds. We will have the sound of Zach making a joke, which will go ba-dum-ba-da-ba-ch.
There'll be good, we'll get some good ones.
I'll bring a
I
little
like the idea
keyboard
of
in
being
here.
the zany DJ.
You want to be? No, Zach's gonna get out of control. Kate, what will be your sound? What's the sound we should have when Kate walks in the room? Dun, 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 dun.
No, not that one.
Not Here Comes the Bride.
But
How about?
Something, maybe like the Star Wars.
Maybe applause.
that's what he was just doing.
Men in
Oh,
Tights.
no,
That's how bad my humming is. I was doing Here Comes the Bride. That goes, I was just doing
Wedding
Star Wars. Somebody said Ty should be a roaring jaguar. Do jaguars roar? I think this guy's making sound.
We should get you like a good Loretta Lynn song.
Let's do the MacBook.
Or,
You got
Yeah,
the
we
MacBook?
gotta-
Dolly Parton.
Oh.
Okay. Somebody said Ram Pam or Wonder Woman theme.
Ooh, Wonder Woman. I
Who
like that.
wants this right here? It is a MacBook Air. So, what is the name of the author of Superintelligence? First person to get that, if you're paying attention, what is the author's name of Superintelligence book I've been talking about? Full name. Full name. Not Ronald Reagan. Nope. Hold the MacBook up.
Oh, right there.
There we go.
Nobody Google it. You're not allowed to Google
Eric Chang
Woo,
won. Eric
Eric.
Chang gets a brand new laptop Air. The correct answer was Nick Bostrom. Kate,
You should have been listening.
it. Now, there's nothing in it, Eric, but you're going to find a lot of uses for this box.
we just send a box.
So
no, we'll
many,
send you an actual one. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'm gonna
Bye, guys. See you
go
later.
off here step by step. We'll end this bad boy. We're off to the Playboy Mansion.
We should get those zany DJ sound effects.
Yep.
Okay.
What is it? What
It's
sounds
just that cliche or stereotype of wacky morning DJ